Well, this story will have you huffing and puffing. The popular community jogging group Parkrun sees large groups of people gather in parks and open spaces across the country every weekend, hoping to improve on their times on a weekly basis and eventually get past that retired accountant in Lycra that always seems to finish ahead of them. It's not exactly the Olympics, and I doubt there's much doping going on, but you are competing against yourself to get better every time, and the more ambitious participants are mindful about their placing and who they beat when they cross the finish line. However, Parkrun appears to be on shaky ground with a bizarre decision to scrap all records of people's timings after a row over transgender athletes taking female records. Parkrun has removed all gender, course and age records from its websites after a backlash when it was reported that at least 3 Parkrun female records were held by transgender women. And let me tell you, it's not a bunch of illiberal, transphobic cranks who are concerned about this move. Tennis legend Martina Navratilova, swimming champion Sharon Davis and Olympian Daley Thompson have all said that Parkrun should continue to collect data based on biological sex. So if it says that a certain woman is fastest in her category, then she is the fastest woman, rather than an intact biological male rocking the full meat and 2 veg, but identifying as female being above her in the leaderboard. How can that be fair? This is an ideological war on gender, with a strange movement which has come out of nowhere that likes to tell people they were born in the wrong body or that their biological sex is somehow fluid, subjective, and a matter of personal opinion. And it's women who come off worse. We've seen a double rapist accommodated in a Scottish women's prison, biological males winning beauty contests, smashing women in female sport, and scooping prized Woman of the Year awards. Women have lost their own lavatories, their own changing rooms, and decades of hard-won sex-based rights have been sacrificed at the altar of political correctness and a medical fiction. Now, I'm passionate that you should be able to identify however you like and be loved and respected for that. I've got trans friends who have been on that important and joyous journey. Good luck to them. But with men seeking equal social and legal status as women, this whole movement is shaping up like a men's rights campaign. If you think about it, it's history repeating itself. It's men pushing women around all over again. It's misogyny with lipstick. It's sexism in a dress. It's patriarchy in heels. This after the gay dating website Grindr told one user this week that they could not filter potential partners based upon their actual biological sex. So what does that mean? Well, it means that lesbians going on that website cannot select other lesbians. With the mantra that trans women are women, lesbians could now very easily go on a date with someone that's got a male member that's calling themselves a lesbian. We all enjoy a bit of a surprise on a date, but I think on that one, you're getting more than you bargained for. Trans ideology is so mad, it actually says to lesbians that if they don't sexually accept a biological male that identifies as female, they are a bigot. This is unfair, it's mad, and of course, it's homophobic. And I'm no expert on the lesbians, but from my observations, they are not in the penis business. Meanwhile, the conversion therapy bill passing through the House of Lords could potentially criminalise parents, teachers or organisations who discourage children from having puberty blockers or irreversible surgery on their reproductive organs. The world has truly gone mad. And now women can't even have a run around their local park and take pride in their progress. Men are women and women are men, are they? Well, this has echoes of the writer George Orwell and that famous line from his dystopian novel 1984. In it, he wrote, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." Our beloved NHS have stopped calling women mothers. There's jargon like chest feeding rather than breastfeeding, or people with a cervix and cis women. Give me strength. We have to call out this madness and push back, otherwise women will be cancelled altogether. The organisers of Parkrun are on a slippery slope. They can jog on. Your reaction, Mark, at gbnews.com. We'll get to your emails shortly, but tonight's top pundits are broadcasting legend David Hamilton, former government advisor Claire Pearsall, and TV personality Precious Muir. Claire, let me start with you. Your reaction to the news that women that do the park run won't have their listings on the website because we have to accommodate people who identify with another gender.
Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this isn't the Olympics and people are competing against themselves and they want to know how they're doing, have they increased their times, are they getting a better placing? And it's about sport and fairness. And I think it's predominantly unfair if you put into a category somebody who is a biological male who will have an advantage. Let's all be honest. Men and women are very, very different when it comes to muscle and bone structure. So I think it's largely now only caught the attention of Parkrun, and all of the furore concerning this is because men's results have also been wiped from the website. I think that because men are now affected, this issue is coming up and is coming to the fore. So Parkrun should put it back as it was. If trans people want to run, that's absolutely fine. Nobody has a problem with that. Why not have a separate category and then you can please everyone?
However, I guess what Parkrun are trying to do, Precious Muir, is adapt to an ever-changing world and to make sure that if someone identifies by a different gender, that's respected and they can participate. All they're trying to do is be inclusive.
Right. I agree that they should be inclusive, but they shouldn't also it's a dangerous situation to actually remove that because the rights for women are being taken away. Being acknowledged as a woman seems to be like the worst thing ever at this point in time, because it's like you should be ashamed to say that you're actually born a woman. It's like you should never say that you have a vagina. Like, it's like big things to say in this kind of world that we're living in right now. And for me, having transgender women in certain categories doesn't make sense. Like, you know, there is no way that a woman should be actually competing against a transgender woman because obviously they have advantages and it's not fair. So why are you removing the fact that you can specify a woman actually racing and saying what her results are, saying that she's actually a woman? I mean, I don't see the reason for removing that information at all. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
David Hamilton, I just wonder whether history is repeating itself and this is men dominating women all over again, but in a different way.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like it, doesn't it, Mark? I think I agree with both the ladies, actually. I think that what you should have is a men's section, a women's section and a transgender section. Yeah. You certainly shouldn't have people who were born male competing against females. That's definitely not right. But it's interesting, the CEO of this particular company has said that Parkrun is not a race. He says many people are scared of finishing last. That's his reason for, you know, getting rid of all the stats from the past. I mean, I think it's just bollocks, isn't it, really?
Oh.
Not pulling his punches. Claire, listen briefly if you can. Do you accept that argument that it's not a race?
Well, it might not be a race in that respect, but everybody's results are there, and it shouldn't be about who's coming last, who's coming first. It should be about making your times better and competing against yourself and becoming fit. That was the whole point of Parkrun when it was set up, was to encourage people into sport. And if you're going to now put them off of it, then it defeats its whole purpose. OK, well, let me be fair to Parkrun and say that I think what they're doing with this decision, even though I think it's the wrong decision, I think they're trying to make sure that their event is for everyone.